Ladies and gentlemen, my guest this week.
Joining me on the line now is over-the-top wrestling standout Logan Bryce. Logan, thank you for joining us this afternoon in the Kickouts.
Thanks for having me.
More than welcome. So first of all, let's talk about how you started becoming a professional wrestler. What first influenced you to try pro wrestling?
My story is a bit of a funny one. I was actually asked to bring some family members to a show. I wasn't actually keeping up with wrestling at the time. I was pretty young. I was about 15. And when I got to the show, I bumped into the Irish wrestler, the Ballymum Bruiser.
Okay.
And was giving him a bit of stick, basically saying that anybody could do this wrestling lark. So I went down to the show and I was giving him a bit of stick, and he said, well, if you think this is so easy, why don't you come down to the gym? And I did, and then found out pretty quickly that it's not as easy as it was making it out to be.
That's pretty cool. Did you actually eventually wrestle Bruiser later on, and you say, oh, now you think it's tough or stuff like that, or what happened?
Yeah, actually, my first match was a tag match which had Bruiser in it.
Oh yeah.
But we've wrestled probably too many times for me to keep track of at this stage.
So it's countless times at this stage. Yeah. So obviously you wrestle under the persona of Logan Bryce. So how would you describe his character and persona?
Logan Bryce is me. Basically, people always ask me about the character and kind of what my gimmick is, but Logan Bryce is me with the volume turned up. He's a rugby player. I'm a rugby player. He likes to have a fight and likes to wrestle. I like to have a fight and I like to wrestle. He's arrogant sometimes to his own fault, which is probably not too far from the truth with how some people would describe me. So I think the best characters are characters that come from the person themselves, and I think the reason why kind of Logan Bryce is working so well is it's because who I am. There's no real difference between the two of us.
I see. Well, aside from it being like a version of yourself in the Logan Bryce character, is there any other wrestlers or people that influence any part of the Logan Bryce character as well?
Yeah, like a lot of the wrestlers that I would have liked when I was younger would kind of mould what you become, and even lads that you've come across as you get involved in wrestling obviously would help you kind of tweak your style a little bit. So, I've always liked hard-hitting wrestlers, so I would have liked the likes of Regal and stuff like that. So I try and use some of their stuff. Even now, I like Ishii from New Japan, and I try and take some of the hard-hitting stuff from those guys.
Yeah, Ishii's actually one of my favourites as well. He's such a good brawler. So obviously you apply your craft here in over-the-top wrestling and main stage wrestling. With OTT in particular, it's gone from strength to strength almost every show now in its 2 years. What do you feel has contributed to its rise?
I think the attitude has been a big part of it. So a lot of the times with wrestling in Ireland, it's been very kind of small time attitude and looking to cater towards the kids, where when the guys got OTT up and running, the goal was always to be a top independent promotion. The thinking process was never small time. Obviously we try to keep everything local, and it's a very Irish themed show, and it fits in with the Dublin and Irish culture very well. But I think what has made us stand out over what's been here before and what's helped us grow is, one, is the attitude that we are pushing to put on a very, very adult product. And secondly, I think it's the actual work rate of the guys. The team that we have at OTT at the minute, everybody's working towards making this bigger. There isn't any kind of egos or no one's about themselves. It's all about the projects that we have going, which is over the top.
Helping each other, if I think.
Yeah, it's all down to the attitudes of the people, and then the kind of vision of the guys that started.
Absolutely. Now you spoke about liking a bit more of a big hitting style of wrestling. You yourself have faced some of the big names from the American wrestling scene in OTT, such as Rhyno and recently Abyss. What was it like to wrestle those guys in particular, and what, if anything, did you learn from them?
It's obviously great to wrestle these guys. I would have watched them both since I was young, so it's a kind of bucket list things that you don't expect to do when you first start wrestling. So that alone is a good experience. But for Ireland and the indies in general, there's not a lot of massive guys. So I got to learn through that how to work with these kind of super heavyweights, as you call them. And it's kind of becoming what I'm known for now. That would be the main thing that I learned. I learned how to work with these big guys, which is something that we don't really come across that much in Ireland and in the physical size of the guys and how to work with them. So that's been the biggest kind of learning curve and challenge with it is working with these massive dudes.
That's absolutely. It's like a big feather in your cap, like in the sense where it'd be like working with, let's say, where there would be an average size for everyone, where like do you be against the bigger guys? So credit to what you're doing that one. In your opinion, though, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Over the Top Wrestling in its 2 years, what do you think has been the highlight of the promotion so far?
That's a good one. There's been a lot of things that have been big for us. I would say the WrestleCon weekend. No promotion in Ireland has ever been able to do a weekender like that. Selling out 2 nights in the Tivoli, which from Irish independent standards is a big venue. And then for me personally, like doing the comedy carnival in Galway, like I'm a stand-up comedy nerd. To be honest, it's one of the things that I will be passionate about, and being able to do a festival as big as that and get the crowd that we got and have the likes of the Rubber Bandits and Al Porter involved and other well-known comedians in the crowd. That was a big weekend for us, and I think between the 2 nights in the Tivoli and the Comedy Carnival in Galway, that was probably our biggest moment. It's
pretty cool. Now, in your own career, obviously you said you've learned a lot from lots of Rhyno and Abyss, but who else were your favourite wrestlers to be in the ring with, and why, and what else would you learn from those guys?
Oh, there's a lot. I've been very lucky with who I've got to wrestle with. Like a lot of the Irish lads, I absolutely love working with, and I think like a lot of them are kind of underrated. Like Paul Tracy's fantastic. Rocky Mack, really enjoy working with him, and that's a guy that you probably don't get enough praise. Luther Ward is amazing. Then you have the likes of Tyler Bate. I've wrestled in the UK, haven't got to wrestle him here yet. He's fantastic. Pete Dunne, he's also great. A lot of the kind of up and coming independent guys, and a lot of the guys come from the Irish and British scene. The level's gotten so high; they're all a joy to work with, to be honest.
It's pretty cool. Like Taylor Bate, he's only 19 years old, isn't he?
Yeah, he's amazing.
It's hard to believe with his mustache, but there you go. But in your own career, what would you consider the highlights of your career so far?
Doing the Comedy Carnival was a big one for me. And the first Fringe show, because I torn my knee playing rugby, and to be honest, I didn't know whether I would be able to wrestle or play sports again. And after a year out, coming back and being in the main event with Pete Dunne, Ryan Smile, Luther Ward, and the Kings of the North, that's the high point for me, because it was a milestone I didn't think I'd hit, let alone getting back in the ring. But main events in this new buzzing promotion, which was OTT at the time as well.
So I'll say that was a high, alright. As a fan yourself, obviously, you grew up watching wrestling, obviously, like before you started. Like, who were your favourite wrestlers growing up, and even right now as we speak? I'm
a bit useless with the knowledge right now, because we watch so much of our own stuff.
Yeah.
But I probably haven't seen any WWE product in a long time.
Well, it doesn't have to be WWE. It could be like from anywhere. Like you mentioned Aishi in Japan, for example. So
yeah, like he'd be one of the guys that I would follow. I tend to keep track of the people that we know, you know what I mean, and we come across, and it's at the stage now where you're seeing lads that you've come across in the years you've been wrestling all starting to make it. But like, yeah, Ishii definitely be up there. I do like a lot of the indie guys, Marty Scurll,
of course,
Pete Dunne. It's kind of funny because all these guys are all working with us now. Like, I've always looked up to the likes of Paul Tracy even when I was younger, because it's another guy that's been completely underrated, who's fantastic. And as a kid, I was the weird guy who liked the funny facial expression, so Regal has always been probably my favourite.
Yeah, good point. I remember him doing all the weird ones were in the Attitude Era, when he'd be likes against of all those in the Attitude Era. As for yourself and your career, obviously, like for like, do you have any long-term or short-term goals you'd like to accomplish in your wrestling career?
For me, my goals are all based around the kind of making the Irish scene as big as we can. So goals for myself, I'd like to be a key part in the Irish scene boom that's happening now, and to grow over the top and the Irish scene in general, and having a scene for the lads who come through the training skills like main stage to have somewhere to go and somewhere that's of a high standard. So my goal at the minute is to get the Irish scene as big as we can.
That's pretty cool, man. Finally, I must ask you now, as you say yourself, like you consider yourself OTT's first cross over athletes coming from rugby to professional wrestling. But if you were to pick any other rugby player in the world to consider a career in pro wrestling and possibly be your tag team partner, who would it be and why? And bear in mind, this can be any rugby player in the world, like from anywhere. Like, so it's probably a tough
two players that I'd like.
Okay.
So if I could have a tag partner,
okay,
it would be Cian Healy, the Irish prop.
Ooh, good choice.
First of all, he's massive, and he's super athletic,
and
he's a tug, so he can handle himself. And then if I could wrestle any of them, it would probably be Devon Toner.
Devon Toner. Oh, he's second row, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's freakishly big. And I kind of apply my trade wrestling, freakishly big people.
Good point.
So he'd be my next challenge. That's
a very good point. So Over the Top Wrestling will be hitting, first of all, Limerick in Invasion Limerick on it's a Friday, isn't it? On Friday 25th of November, and then obviously Extreme Super Show 2 on November 26th in Dublin's Tivoli Theatre.
Limerick's great.
Both events are still, you can get tickets still on November.ie. Logan, thanks so much for coming on. It's been awesome talking to you. All the best and more, and we hope to have you on again soon. So thanks so much.
Thanks very much. I appreciate you having us on.
More than welcome.